What is the nature of madness? The Soul Eater manga does a pretty good job on explaining that concept in different ways. Madness could be the deepest desires of a human, just like Black Star's madness of power that drives him to forsake almost everything for more strength, or Kid's madness of order that almost pushes him to the extremes of his ideals as he believes that true balance comes from nothingness, comes from death. Madness could also be pure insanity, which is shown with Maka, Dr. Stain, and Krona throughout the series. The characters simply lose themselves, turning into madness beasts. And lastly, madness is portrayed as fear or despair. Ashura, the Kishin, is born from the fear the Shinigami rejected and is responsible for most of the insanity in the series. Madness itself is always so ambiguous as a concept. There were so many times in the series where the main characters had to use its power to overcome the enemies, but at the same time, it drives them closer and closer to losing themselves. So it's more like a double-edged sword the more you think about it. If you are able to control the nature of your madness, you will be greater with a huge power boost and a deeper understanding of yourself, just like Kid and Black Sword. But if you succumb to your madness, you will be lost in your own thought and insecurities, just like Maka against the clown or Soul against Arachne. Everyone has a part of madness inside of them. We all have desires, insecurities, egos, fear, because we are all flawed. It's when all those emotions are pushed to their limits that madness reveals itself. But enough with the yapping, let me go more in depth in the different ways I see the concept of madness as a whole, because it's pretty unique and interesting. Madness as the source of someone's desires is mainly shown with Black Star and Kid throughout the series. Both of them have an obsession with power and order. In Black Star's case, his madness of power almost drives him to take the path of a demon. His desires for more strength is born from a fear of death. As the enemies he fights keep getting stronger, Black Star slowly succumbs to his madness inside of him, and his eyes take the form of stars as he's blinded by his obsession for more power. This feeling of being weak isn't something he's used to. The Star Clan giving into that madness, consuming the soul of innocent people to ascend to a higher plane, and Black Star was on that same path. He was supposed to transcend the gods for him, Tsubaki, and all his friends, but having his ego broken multiple times, he became narrow-minded and lost sight of his goal. It's only thanks to Kid that he's able to remember why he's supposed to transcend the gods, not for his selfish gains, but for the people around him. Learning the nature of his madness, Black Star changes. He's still obsessed with more power, that's the core of his character, but now he understands the nature of it. Now he understands why he craves that power so much. He vows to use his new understanding of power to help Kid create the world he wants to create. On the other hand, Kid's madness is portrayed by his desire for perfect order, the balance between life and death. As the future god of death, it's his duty to rule over the cycle of life and death, but being trapped in the book of Abon and giving into his madness, he takes his ideals of perfect order to the extreme. Turning everything into nothingness is his form of order, everyone being equal in death, and in some ways, it is some sort of balance, in a very twisted way to say the least. But I really like the way his madness is shown in these panels, because he only sees the world in black, as everyone is perfectly balanced in death. Kid's madness drives him to forsake life as a whole, believing that the duty of a Shinigami is to bring death to everyone, as he states, "So dark. A blackness so dark it seems to swallow up everything. There is no left, there is no right, just a trans-symmetrical that surpasses all symmetry. So, this is nothingness. The culmination of order is another impulse to all living things, on everything, is death. As a Shinigami and bringer of death, is this the order I've been searching for? Kill, expel all that exists from the world. This is the order that the Shinigami must preserve." At this point, Kid is totally lost in his own ideals and fully succumbed to his madness. It's only thanks to Black Star that he's able to snap out from his emo phase and get back to reality. Black Star is able to help Kid because he understands the nature of his madness, and in turn can help guide Kid on the true nature of his madness. Realizing that turning everything into nothingness isn't the solution, and a perfect balance between life and death is the ultimate order, is the ultimate power he's seeking, was a really good moment between Black Star and Kid. When Black Star was slipping away into madness, Kid was there to help him. And when Kid was slipping away into the madness, Black Star was there to help him. It really shows how both characters grew by helping each other out, and it's great stuff. Madness as insanity is probably the most common one we see. Characters like Justin Law, Soul, Krona, Dr. Stain all portray that concept in different ways and different manners. In Justin Law's case, he truly goes insane, betraying his friends and fully siding with the Kishin. He no longer values the order of the Shinigami and fully devotes himself to Ashura. The tragic part about his character is that he never opened himself to anyone else, always covering his ears with earphones and rejecting anyone that comes close to him. He felt that siding with the Kishin is his only way of salvation and thus lost his mind in the process. Soul's madness, on the other hand, comes from his lack of faith in himself. The feeling of always being beneath his brother drives him to have this inferiority complex. He refuses to play the piano, thus refusing to enjoy life. Even the devil of the black blood calls him out on his lack of faith in himself. So play, the piano is right here. Stop acting so detached, looking at the world like you're not part of it. Who do you think you are, you arrogant fool? Your soul is rising out from under you. Just take a look, your soul is not moving. You never get anywhere that way. Haven't you had enough of not living? Enjoy your life. Go on. Every time Soul wants to enjoy his life, he has to give in to his madness, his passion for the piano. But as the series progresses, he gets closer and closer on being totally consumed by the black blood and his madness. His cool, laid-back attitude is just a facade for him to hide his lack of self-esteem. I'm not gonna go deeper because this video is gonna turn into Soul character analysis, but that's the base of his madness as a whole. Krona's madness is a result of Medusa treating him like a tool. Since he was a kid, he's been physically and emotionally abused, been used and manipulated. Having your innocence robbed away at such a young age is bound to make anyone go crazy. Krona doesn't know or doesn't understand any type of love, any type of affection, so his only answer to it is to isolate himself away from everyone. Giving into his madness frees himself from any thought of feeling. The fact that he kills Medusa after she shows him affection for the first time shows you that Krona was so far gone. He is the worst case scenario of someone being overcome by madness, and it's just tragic, honestly. Dr. Stain's madness is gradually shown to be getting worse over the course of the series. He slowly loses his mind, turning into a madman guided only by his madness. The way the manga portrays his descent into madness is shown with some really good art. Madness as fear or despair is mainly related to Ashura. The Kishin, he is the embodiment of all fears because he's born from it. The Shinigami rejected fear from his world, thus giving birth to Ashura. So in a way, death is a reason for all this madness. It's his selfish act to maintain order that led to the creation of the Kishin. It's from his fear of everything that he desires more power, eating the souls of innocent people and even devouring his partner. The Kishin himself is interesting because you cannot completely kill him off. The concept of fear is in everyone and is impossible to remove. Despair itself is portrayed in so many ways, like illusion, physical change, people going crazy and succumbing to their fears. Characters like Maka, Soul, Justin Law have different ways of showing fears. Maka's insecurities are always on the forefront when she gives into a madness. Her weakness to protect Soul has always been something that she's been having a hard time to deal with. She fears being a burden because Soul always protects her. She constantly doubts herself because she wasn't able to save Krona, and the clown, who is the representation of the madness of the Kishin, almost drives her to lose herself. It's only with her courage and with the help of Soul that she's able to snap out of it. I know it sounds kinda shonen cliche, but I guarantee you when you read it, it's actually really interesting and really dope to see. Soul's fear is a result of suppressing all his desires to the point that he's not sure who he is anymore. He's scared of playing the piano. He's scared of being compared to his brother. He is scared of being judged by his skills. He always holds back his desires and endures all the pressure from the black blood and from his madness. He's stuck in a limbo of running away from who he truly is to not succumb to the madness, but at the same time loses himself because he suppresses his desires way too much. Madness isn't something you should hold back or suppress. It's a part of you that you have to understand, something you have to confront to know who you truly are. Madness is born from your desires. Trying to cast it off away is like suppressing a part of yourself. So lost in himself because he doesn't know who he truly is. It's only about confronting that fear head on that he's able to gain control and fully embrace his madness and passion while still maintaining his sanity. But that's all I gotta say for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to do all the YouTube stuff. This is probably gonna be my last solo of it in a while because I covered all the important aspects that I wanted to talk about. The series as a whole, Black Star as a character, and now the nature of madness. And I think I did a pretty good job of all three. And I recommend Solido to everyone. Exceptional manga, great characters, great story, great art, great everything. You should read it. But thank you for watching and stay safe.